Hello, Mr. Barton here, and in this video we're going to take a look at how you actually create a question on Diagnostic Questions, because without questions it wouldn't be much of a website. So first thing you need to do is get yourself logged in, and then when you're logged in, if you just navigate over here to questions, give that a click and you'll be on our page where you'll see loads and loads of questions. Now, I would advise you, before we go any further, to make sure you've watched the video on what makes a good question. Because I'll be honest, it's like everything. The kind of quality of questions on the site is rather varied. There's some beautiful ones, but there's some slightly ropey ones as well. And I'm always a fan of quality over quantity. So watch the video on how to make a good question, work together with the members of your department, and then we can get the quality of the questions sky high on diagnostics. Okay, so when you've got kind of a question in mind, all you need to do is go to create a question, give that a click, and you've two options really here for making questions. Well, three, I guess, but I'm going to kind of steer you down one or two of those. One option is to use this kind of blank canvas, and it's dead easy. You can kind of write things and you can add shapes and so on. The problem is, I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit tricky to use, and some of the questions look a little bit ropey on there. Now, by all means, if you've got really nice handwriting and maybe you've got an interactive whiteboard, then possibly you can handwrite a question on here using the kind of freeform tool, and it'll look dead nice. But my writing at the best of times is ropey, so I don't tend to use this particular technique. What I tend to do is insert an image. Now, there are two different ways of doing this. One way is you could literally handwrite a question on a piece of paper, take a picture of it on your smartphone or whatever, and then upload that picture. And we do have some lovely questions that have been produced that way. Teachers simply writing them down on paper, taking a picture and uploading them. I've no problem with that whatsoever. But the way I tend to write most of my questions is on PowerPoint, and I'll show you dead quickly how that happens. So if I take a question that I've just put together here, nice little question on multiplying fractions together, hopefully some good misconceptions in there. So when I've got my question looking how I want it, I'm then going to create an image out of this question. And I should say the advantage of doing questions on PowerPoint is that if I then want to write a similar question like that, I can literally just copy my slide, change some of the numbers around, and I've got another question without having to mess around with kind of starting from scratch and so on. So I'm a big fan of doing that. Anyway, so once you've got your question looking like you want it to, if you go to File and you go to Save As, and then what I'm going to do, depends on your version of PowerPoint that you've got here, but the bottom line is you need to change it from a PowerPoint presentation into an image file. So what I tend to do is go to More Options, and I just save it somewhere I'm going to find it. So I'm going to call this Fractions, and then I change it. Instead of a PowerPoint, I'll just move my stupid head out of the way here, I tend to go for PNG. JPEG works as well, but PNG tends to keep the quality a bit better. Click Save. It'll ask me how many I want to save. Now that's quite nice. If you've written 10 questions, it will create 10 separate images for you, which is lovely. But I've just got the one, so I'm going to click just the one. And that is done and dusted. So if I just close that down now, and I don't think I need to save this, I think that's fine. And then I've just got to find my image. So if I click Find Image, now I think I saved that on desktop. So there it is there. There he goes there. Fractions PNG. Click Open. And then add him to Canvas, or her, I guess. And that question should appear, hopefully, on my dashboard. There it goes there, looking nice. Okay, so next job, get it right. Now this could be tricky. So that's 4 wholes times 2/5, so I think that's going to give me 8/5. So I'm going to click C for that one. And now it's a case of tagging it in the right area. And this is dead important. We do get some questions that aren't tagged. And I have to fail these for moderation because the whole point of the site is we're trying to find specific misconceptions, so it needs to be tagged in the right place. So I'm going to go for maths, number, I'm going to go for fractions, and I'm going to go for multiplying fractions. And I think that'll just about cover that one. And then I'm going to scroll to the bottom and I'm going to click Create. And that is your job done. That's your question created. Now, one thing I'll say is that question then goes to moderation. What that means is it gets sent to me and I check over questions. Now, the reason for this is, this will be no surprise, we have had some rather rude, inappropriate questions that have been uploaded to the website. So we've made a decision that I'm going to check it. And I tend to check them twice a day. So hopefully there'll be a fairly quick turnaround. The question immediately appears for you and you can use that question and set it for your students as part of a quiz. But you can't make it as part of a public quiz until it's been moderated. So it's kind of for your eyes only until it's passed the test, but I promise I'll turn them around as quick as I can. And that's how you create a question. As I say, hope that was useful, but go back and watch the rules for making a good question video, because it's quite a good one, that, and it's really good kind of pedagogical practice. Okay, take care. Bye for now.